Welcome to Daily Meditation with Sangha Live.
Yeah, I'm really happy to be here with you together. What an amazing opportunity to connect around the globe. And I like to connect us with the stories of Abbot Linji, which I was reading every day today until now. Abbot Linji lives in a monastery in China. In those stories, he lived in the 9th century. And as you might have heard already, his way of talking and teaching is quite harsh. Like, he's often described as angry, which I think it's just a really firm way of his, of compassion for his monks, for his disciples. And also, like, he's using really unnatural methods to bring people to a state which is beyond words. And his teachings are pointing toward that state and emphasizing that we can't understand with our intellectual this where we cannot find words for. And it's like, so far he has been really down to earth in the stories I read, right? He was instructing a monk to just go out at the river and look at the river, to just go out and look at the flowers along the path. He asked this monk, who was kind of lost in his practice, and said, it doesn't make sense that I practice, I'm not getting further, to look up and see what's above, to look down and see what's behind. And these are teachings from the 9th century. It's exactly what you would teach people who have an agitated nervous system, just to move your head, to look around, to orientate. And from there, it's so much easier to flow into a state of meditation if we're relaxed. So yesterday I was touching on the 7 factors of enlightenment, emphasizing the enlightenment factor of energy. And today I will touch on the enlightenment factor of joy. And I read the story first. One morning in the monastery of Linji, the monks approached the abbot with this question. Tell me, Abbot Linji, is it certain that we monks will all be enlightened one day after so many years in your monastery? Monks, Linji began his answer, not even in my monastery on the banks of the Huoduo river is it certain that you will be all enlightened one day. What begins at the end of your present life depends only on yourselves, my companions. But you can still do a lot for yourselves. But watch out, monks. The closer the end, the closer the new beginning. Abbot Linji, we have spent most of our lives studying the teachings in your monastery on the Huoduo River. We know both the letters of the teachings and its precepts. We walk the way. We live virtuously. But what else can we do to attain Buddhahood, so that our efforts so far have not been in vain? Asked the most zealous monk, who would certainly have spared no sacrifice to attain Buddhahood. Monks, Linji said, away with the efforts, away with the victims. Pitiable is the fate of those who strive frantically. So that you may be spared such a fate, from today you should have one single commandment before your eyes, the following. If you're hungry, eat. If you're tired, lie down. If you are cold, get dressed. If you are warm, get undressed. In the morning, in the evening, wash yourself. Because then, notice, you don't stink. order in the cell serves not to lose the head. Use it also in time for other useful things, the mind. Look up high to the sky. Common sense walks on feet on the earth. Abbot Linji quoted the old Chan Buddhist poem, but then, spreading his arms, he added the following: Dear companions, this is all that man can do for Buddhahood. How much is all this, Abbot Linji? One of the monks asked shyly. A lot or a little? Just enough, replied Linji, whereupon the monks left reassured. So this is a really clear instruction on being simple. And it's not easy, right? When we step on the path and we start to move out of our habitual comfort patterns and we walk new paths and we learn about these new paths, we also see what our mind is busy with. Like, the clearer we see, we also see the so-called 5 hindrances in our body, mind, heart. There are like desire, craving for something, anger, dullness, restlessness, worry, doubt. And as we keep meditating, there is also a relative freedom from the hindrances. There's more openness. And this opens us like a deeper perspective, and it deepens our understanding. And when our understanding grows, energy and joy will arise. It's a natural process. And this is a process of the 7 factors of enlightenment, which start with mindfulness. As we start to see clearly, there's a natural sense of investigation. And from there, this raises the energy in body, mind, heart. And there's more energy. If there's more energy, it shapes over into joy. And this is a natural process happening. We can't do anything for it. We can dress ourselves when we are cold and undress when we are not cold. Be mindful. And if we are mindful, this is a process of where it leads us, the flow we come into. And when joy calms down, it leads into tranquility, which then naturally leads into concentration, and from there into equanimity. So investigation can bring more energy into the mind. So for example, if you're tired, rather than just nodding out and dropping away, what about investigating, getting curious? It's like an embodied investigation about what is it, this tiredness, how does it sense? And from there, energy rises, and from there, joy. And when we come to the awakening factor of joy, it's different than the joy of daily life. It's also described as delight or rapture, pleasurable interest. And it's felt in the body. It's like an uplifting energy. You might feel it at waves of bliss or tingling sensations in the body. It's a really powerful antidote to anger and ill will, because when we are filled with joy, there's just no room for anger and ill will. And our brain is, I don't get the word, it's fixated on negativity. And this makes sense because we are kind of alert for, where's danger? This is just in our system. It's evolutionary, made that way for a good sense. But now there's no tiger around the corner. We can let go of this alertness and turn towards joy, really turning into what's pleasurable. And we need a strong mindfulness here so we can be present with joy, and we can continue to be present with it. Otherwise, if we lose our mindfulness, we get attached to this factor and then we lose it. So it's wise, like wisdom, we invite, which grows from our practice and which sees this will also pass. Just nothing to hang on to. Your meditation practice is not better if you're experiencing joy. It's just one of the states arising, coming, going. And it's a state which really refreshes the body, mind, heart. Like for some people, it takes some time to have this process of rapture happening. It's more likely to happen if you're on retreat. And sometimes when we hear about it, it can even bring up like anger or annoyment because we don't know what it is and we think it should be there. We project all kinds of story. In our practice, we can check, is there joy? We can really look out for what's feeling good. And if there is a lack of joy, we can check on our energy. This supports joy. And we did that yesterday in the meditation, like with the inhalation, we get more energy. And with the exhalation, like if we're very agitated, we're calming down the mind. And let's see, like, is there a sense of striving? So if there's no joy, maybe it's helpful to loosen up a bit, let go of control. We can't make it happen. And we can set up the right conditions. Getting dressed when it's cold, getting undressed when it's not cold, eating when we're hungry. With mindfulness, we will see what are skillful mind states and what are not, and we can leave unskillful mind states. And what's really supportive for the awakening sector of joy to arise is if we are free of remorse. So this makes sense to practice the shilas, to practice ethical conduct. Because if we are filled with remorse, we can't see clearly. Yeah. So from this, we can go together in our meditation and see if there's joy there. And so the invitation is to leave all the words behind which you heard so far, which you talked already maybe this morning, everything. Just leave it out there and get a really comfortable position, which is at the same time inviting some awakeness, some alertness. And finding the balance here, really taking your time to check out your position. Maybe it could be laying down, sitting straight with the softness. Maybe sitting with a long spine while still gently leaning against something. Maybe standing. Take your time to settle in your position. And maybe adjust, make some micro movements. Or yawn or sigh or hum to enter your meditation. Swinging a bit forward, backward. Just really looking for yourself. What is supportive? What is bringing up lightness, brightness, and what is at the same time inviting tranquility, rest. And as you enter position, you could kind of feel the length of your body. And you can also feel like the sides of your body and the wideness. Sit, lay, or stand into the length, into the spreading out to the sides. Sensing the space around your eyes, softening around your eyes, behind your eyes. Softening around your ears, feeling the space behind your ears, around your ears. Maybe allowing the space in your shoulders to release a bit more, to soften, and allowing the tissue between your collarbones to soften, to release. Allowing the chest bone to kind of sink in a bit into the space between your shoulder blades. And maybe feeling the space between your shoulder blades expanding a bit on your inhalation. And what about allowing the inhalation to lift you up maybe a bit more, maybe a bit longer, feeling the expansion of the tissue, of the cells, of the space in your body with the inhalation. And with the exhalation, just softening. Maybe placing a bit more interest on the inhalation as the body is rising up, lifting up, maybe getting light, opening, widening with the inhalation. Maybe with the expansion, widening, and opening on the inhalation, there's somewhere a sense of lightness, maybe pleasure, ease, softness. Somewhere a place where you feel like you could be interested in, bring your attention there, just as it is natural happening. And just keep practicing like this, feeling the body uplifting, expanding, opening, maybe getting more lightness with the inhalation. And just softening, maybe more in the shoulders on the exhalation. Being curious for this dance of energy in the body, the dance of opening and softening, widening, expanding. And if there is anywhere a sense of delight, lightness, brightness, or just some part which feels better than the rest, what about bringing your attention here, bringing your curiosity there, and sensing these sensations in the body? And if the mind is really agitated, doing its thing with the thinking, what about allowing the shoulders even more to relax, and you could make your exhalation longer if there's restlessness, worries, doubt, fear. And just come more into a soothing kind of practice. Maybe placing a hand on your body where it's supporting body, mind, heart. A hand of kindness, friendliness, gentleness. Kind of hugging yourself with your hands. And if there's some sense of joy, attuning into it, sensing the sensations, maybe even feeling the space around these sensations of delight and ease or joy. They might be spreading out as with the inhalation, you're opening, you're expanding, you're elongating, lifting. there is a sensation of delight, flow, brightness, joy. This could widen, open, take more space on the inhalation as the body opens, lifts, lightens on the inhalation. If this feels an appropriate supportive way for you to practice, you could, with the inhalation, sense into the area, into the space where you feel maybe joy, maybe sensations which feel okay or better than the rest. Sense into it on this widening inhalation, and with the exhalation, allowing this sensation to spread, to widen, to open. With the inhalation, sensing into joy, into brightness, lightness, delight, pleasure, or this which feels a tiny bit like pleasure. And with the exhalation, allowing the sensation to spread, to widen, allowing the body to open on the exhalation. Even though there's this natural movement of sinking on the exhalation, you can still kind of open the tissue, the skin, to the space around the body. With the inhalation, sensing into energy, into joy. With the exhalation, spreading out, widening, opening, melting into the space around you. So the invitation is to keep practicing with that which feels juicy for you and alive. in whatever you're with at this very moment. And you allow simplicity there, just this. And for the last minutes, you could on the inhalation tune into the sensations which feel better like the rest or which feel enjoyable. And with the exhalation, opening to the world, allowing love and peace, kindness and compassion to flow to all beings on this planet and beyond. we finish this formal meditation, make the transition to a listening meditation, I read you some lines from Rilke. If you trust in nature, in what is simple in nature, in the small things that hardly anyone sees, and that can so suddenly become huge, immeasurable. If you have this love for what is humble and try very simply, as someone who serves, to win the confidence of what seems poor, then everything will become easier for you, more coherent, and somehow more reconciling. Not in your conscious mind, perhaps, which stays behind, astonished, but in your innermost awareness, awakeness, and knowledge.
Today's podcast is an offering to you from our archive of freely available live daily classes. We make wisdom teachings and meditations as freely available as possible to as many people as wish to practice. You can help ensure we can continue to support a worldwide Sangha by leaving a review wherever you get your podcasts, by sharing this with someone who'd be interested, and by offering a small financial support at sangha.live/donate.